This week we got a pretty crazy and pretty big week of wrestling. We got the Big Tens, we got the Big 12s, and we also got the Mateo Pelicone. But today we're just going to be focusing on one of those events, and it's our Big Ten predictions. First part of the video, it's going to be the first 5 weight classes. So yeah, let's go right into the video. So first off, at 125 pounds, of course, we got Spencer Lee. He actually has pinned the number 2 guy in this weight class, Liam Cronin. So definitely will win a Big Ten title this weekend. But this weight class is not really about who's going to win, but it's really about who else is going to place. Got a bunch of dark horses in this whole entire seeding, as we got wrestlers like Dylan Ragusin, who are all the way down at the 9th seed, when I could easily see them moving up to the top 4 in this weight class. Of course, Mully Kindson will probably place. Liam Cronin has a good chance of placing. Same with Pat McKee. But Ragusin, really a dark horse in my opinion. Been great in the freestyle scene in the summer, and I think he is undefeated on the season, other than that one loss he took to Rowan Bravo Young, where he didn't actually wrestle that bad considering he was moving up quite a bit of weight. So definitely could finish in the top 4 here, but Spencer Lee definitely will win this weight class. And then at 133 pounds, this was going to be a really tough weight class, but Stevan Micic did drop out due to an injury. So really still a pretty tough weight class, but instead of having Stevan Micic, we now have Rowan Bravo Young, Austin Asanto, and Sammy Alvarez ranked in that order. So Rowan Bravo Young is the 1 seed at this tournament. Now, RBY has versed off against Sammy Alvarez before. He beat him twice last season, but they were both fairly close matches. Alvarez could maybe upset Rowan Bravo Young if they do wrestle, but before that, he'll have to get past Austin Asanto. Guy has a killer pace. Great on his feet, especially with that fireman's, and these guys have never wrestled off against each other, so definitely going to be fun watching them wrestle. Now, Rowan Bravo Young will probably have to beat Lucas Bird, Chris Cannon, or Jack Medley from Michigan to make the finals against Austin Santo or Sammy Alvarez. But I think he can really beat anybody in this whole entire weight class. If Ragusin does move up, I think he could beat him as well. Ragusin, great wrestler, could place here, other than RBY, DeSanto, and Alvarez. I think he can beat guys like Lucas Bird or Chris Cannon, but I think Rowan Bravo Young is going to have a good chance to win this one if he's going up against DeSanto or Alvarez in the final. And then at 141, probably the most competitive weight class in the Big Ten Championship this year. Would have been 133, but they don't have Micic. But at 141, got Jaden Ironman of Iowa, a transfer from Missouri. Then you got Nick Lee of Penn State, a stud wrestler who's All-American a lot of times. And then you also got Sebastian Rivera, who had a really good chance to be an NCAA champion last season and has had some really good wins over great wrestlers like Spencer Lee in the past. So it's going to be a very competitive weight class. Ironman, a 3-time All-American, never wrestled Rivera, and I do not think he has wrestled Lee before, or if he had, I think it was a major maybe 1 or 2 years ago. But then you got Rivera, another 2-time All-American, and Ironman and Rivera, haven't seen them wrestle. We actually haven't seen any of these guys wrestle off against each other, but it's going to be a pretty fun bracket. I think between Rivera and Lee, Rivera, a great wrestler, but I don't think 141 is the weight class he should be wrestling in. I don't think it's a fit for him, and I think Lee would have a good chance beating him. But between Ironman and Lee, Ironman just has a crazy defense, especially in that crosslock position. I think he is going to win a Big Ten title against either Rivera or Nick Lee on this weekend. And at 149, this one's pretty obvious. Sammy Sasso, big chance to win this weight class. He's just been a stud this whole entire season. I think the only close matchup he's had this whole entire season is against a guy who is severely underseeded in my opinion, and that is 11 seed Bo Bartlett of Penn State. Didn't really wrestle a bunch of varsity matches at 149. I think Kale put him at a few different weights and had him get some extra matches in before he had to start. I think he started against Sammy Sasso in the Ohio State versus Penn State duel, and he actually did score the first takedown at Sasso. Had a crazy top game and ended up coming back to win that matchup. But Bartlett, big dark horse in this weight class. Other than Bartlett and Sammy Sasso, I don't really think a lot of guys can compete with those two. Max Murin definitely does have a chance, but between Bartlett and Max Murin, if Bo Bartlett can wrestle the way he did against Sammy Sasso, I think he has a good chance to be a finalist, but definitely will finish runner-up against Sasso. It's going to be a pretty competitive weight class here at 157. Deacon, who was an All-American, was probably going to win the NCAA championship last year, but got canceled due to COVID. Didn't see him wrestle this season until mid-February. I think it was due to an injury or some COVID protocol, but had a nice win over the number 3 seed in this weight class, Brayton Lee. And the finals will probably be Deacon versus Caleb Young. In the past, Young has beaten Deacon before, but I think Ryan Deacon's just having a great season. Will probably avenge his loss when Young and Deacon meet in the final, with Ryan Deacon winning this championship. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up our video for today. A lot of guys underseeded in these pre-seeds for the Big Ten Championship. Ragusin really should be in the top 5 in my opinion. Bartlett, who definitely should be in the top 5, not even in the top 10 for the Big Ten Championship, so it's pretty crazy. But leave your comment down below who you think is the most underseeded wrestler in the Big Ten Championship. But yeah, that's wrap up our video for today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and sub for more content like this. Part 2 will be out tomorrow.